Hello, everyone. I want to talk about feminine energy. I want to talk about the females of this world. And I also want to go into a strength, a role that men have to play, that we don't know we have to play. And this is so important because I've come to realize that my type has changed. I wouldn't say my type has changed, but the the thing that intrigues me, attracts me, and that captures my attention has changed. And it's not as much as it is in what you look like, what she looks like. It's in the way she carries herself, the mannerisms. I want to let people know that this is a time that I'm celebrating my lineage, my culture, my people's culture, and the truth about my people's culture. The true fact that there were things, specific details left out of the Bible that a lot of people are scared to go over. We're gonna go over that today. There are a lot of things about history, about ownership, and being able to know where you're from. We're gonna go over that today. Um, the knowledge and the achievements and the things that our people has done to better our this land, this country, and this corporation that we are a part of. We're gonna go over that today as well. First, we're gonna start with women. And to start off, I want to put this now. There are some women that I have done wrong, and I want to genuinely apologize. You are beautiful, you are great, you are worthy, and you do deserve the best life that you could ever dream of. There are women that I want to congratulate and say, you have done what you set your mind to. And if your friends don't give you the condolence, if your family doesn't give you congratulations, I want to be the first to say, you done it. Now let's go and do more. Women. There are a lot of things about women that, no, it's not the fact that it's a lot of things about women that we don't know. No, there's a lot of things about women that's hidden from the people, that's hidden from the population. The knowledge about women specifically has been abolished. They burned the books. They don't teach us about it in sex ed. They don't tell us these things, and they don't prepare the women themselves for the specific things that I'm about to tell you. Women are knowledgeable. Women are powerful, but women are sensitive. Women are very, very strong in the mind, enough to cultivate lands, geographical masses, people. They are leaders. But the thing that's been taught is that they aren't, because of the comparison. And women, and I want to specifically say that if women haven't been the people to bash their own people, this type of knowledge wouldn't have been lost, because although men, specifically Myron, I don't have nothing against Myron. Everything that he says is true. It may hurt though. Yeah, all of it is the things that Myron say is very disrespectful. Is the way that he explains it is a very disrespectful way to explain it. But it's true. Today, it's true. In 2026, the things he say about women are sadly true. It's disrespectful, very. It's not the way I would say it, but it is true. I want to say that women are magical. Not only magical, they are unbelievable. They are the XX chromosome, which means they are created by themselves. What is the word for it? They co-create themselves. And scientifically, it proves that women were made first. They weren't made second. Because you have the XX chromosome, and the X is first. You have XX chromosome. And for the male, you have the XY. So if a male is an XY and that X comes before the Y, then that should mean that the X is the powerhouse of the DNA. So since we have XY, that means we have a genetic defect. We have a genetic change. We have something that's powerful being taken from, restricted from. You turn that X and you take one line away from that X, then it turns into a Y. Think about it. Think about it. If you write down an X on your piece of paper and you take away a line from that X, it's now a Y. Okay? But for women, they have XX chromosome. So that means there's a gene within the women that hasn't been tampered with, and it's still there. Women have the primordial DNA, the DNA of creation, the DNA of God, the DNA of source. The Almighty is not he or she. Let me get that perfectly fine. The Almighty is not he or she. The Almighty is. The Almighty is I am. The Almighty is the Word. The Almighty is source. The Almighty is the most high vibrational frequency that you can operate on, that your soul can vibrate on. Don't get me wrong. Just because Most High is not a he or a she doesn't mean Most High does not have masculine and feminine energy. Okay? And what does this play into women? Women are specifically neuromelanated women. Gotta love my dark ones. Gotta love them. Specifically, dark-skinned, melanated women. They have a direct connection to source. They have a direct connection to Most High. They have a direct key to operate their pineal gland and to be able to vibrate on a higher frequency. That means they have more knowledge. They have more knowledge. That doesn't mean they have more common sense, as we can see in 2026. But they have a easier route to the Akashic records that are talked about in the Bible and the Ikram and the Apocrypha and all the information that has been put out there through the lineages of our people. Okay, they have a direct connection to source, to the information that source has, and they also has been gifted a gift of fertile birth. They has been gifted a gift to be able to form the vessel for our souls. They have been gifted this. It's not a sin. They have been gifted the womb. Just because it hurts, that don't mean it's a sin. Okay? This is not something that, oh, Adam and Eve bit the apple first and she cheated. That's why she has to hurt. No, that is wrong. That is false, and that Bible is a lie. I want to be the first to tell you this. She has been gifted the gates which our soul come through into this world. She is the doorway to heaven, the doorway to source, the doorway that God speaks through us, that God allow his children to come through, which is the yoni. It's the female counterpart. It's the female's womb. I want to let you guys know that is the most wonderful and highly respected thing that has ever existed, is the woman's womb. But these days in 2025, it's so downplayed, it's so degraded, it's so disrespected. Women have been disrespected, and women have been disrespecting themselves. We're going to talk about that today. The power that the energy that the woman has to use to give birth can bring a man to death. It can drive your heart to beat in such a fast pace that it may stop if you're not strong enough. Okay? These things must be highly respected. And also, the life that is within inside you must be highly respected as well. I'm not for killing the baby. I don't care how that baby got here. You know, I know there must be trauma behind that if that baby got here in a way that you did not accept. But that baby should not accept the sins of the father and to be deafened. So I want to tell you right now, scientifically, you have 5 weeks, maybe less or maybe more. You have 5 weeks after after you get pregnant for that vessel to not have a soul. After 5 weeks, that vessel has a soul. That's murder. But within those 5 weeks, that's just a vessel. That's just a part of your body that you probably just don't want in you. But after 5 weeks, that soul enters that vessel, and that is now a life that you have the power to take. Okay? Respect for women, specifically neuromelanated women, because neuromelanated women, since they are the XX chromosomes, they are the reason we are all here. They are a part of the reason we are all here. The first hominid, humanoid, the first being to step foot on this earth was a female. Let me get that right. Let me tell y'all how this is so true. Okay? The first creation that source allowed to be created on this mother earth, by the way, was a female. The first being to step foot on planet Gaia, female, was a female, by the way. And the reason why females are this way is because there is a specific image. There is a specific indoctrination. There is a specific method. There is a specific agenda that's being played by bigger forces, bigger than your idols. It's not only because Sexy Red makes it sexy to be a hoe. It's not only because these specific women make it a good thing to be someone who manipulates and uses the other gender for what you can get out of them. It's not just that. It's the fact that, don't you think it's suspicious why the people who talk about degrading themselves and others, the women who talk about degrading themselves and others and doing these disrespectful things to themselves are more famous, are more successful, have more money, have more fans than the ones who talk about respecting themselves? Don't you find that suspicious? It's because that is the specific agenda. They want you women to throw away your power, to give away your power, to forget how powerful and how respected you should be. I want you all to hear me now. You are greatness. You are gods. You are queens. You should be treated as though, and you should treat yourself as though. Respectfully. And don't get me wrong, women being half naked, that's not something for me, because that's not something that makes me feel a certain type of way. You know? Because when we were kings and queens, our women had little to nothing. As a matter of fact, our indigenous ancestors had nothing but leaves covering them up, honestly. And still to this day, our Pan-Africanists, I'm a Pan-Africanist, but our ancestors, I'm indigenous to this land, but we are all Pan-Africanists. You know what that means? Being a Pan-African means 9 times out of 10, actually 10 times out of 10, your DNA came from Africa. Even if you are indigenous to this land, Africa was the birthplace of life itself. But to be indigenous, to be Native American, means you have set foot here. You have built grounds here. You have set territory here. These buildings, these cathedrals, these look-alike castles were ours. They were stolen, pillaged, raped. Stolen, pillaged. They were taken from us. Okay? I just want to let you guys know this, that of all days, I respect women more than I ever have. Specifically, neuromelanated women. Nothing against the Caucasians, nothing against the Europeans, nothing against the Italians, nothing against the Irish, nothing against you beautiful women. But most definitely, specifically, strongly, neuromelanated women are my preference today. Okay? All right, let's go into the next segment, guys. The next segment is